It has been a while. So, I'm gonna just kind of start jumping right into it, starting with again, much later, put over there. Then I wanted to, let's scoot this back just a little bit. That's all right. Yeah. See the heavy massage table over here. Mess that up. All right. So we're gonna start more biceps again. I'm seeing you guys in a week, so I've been doing this stuff at home on my own. It's been a little boring. I do find I talk to myself quite often now when I work out, which is a little weird, but that's all right. But as you can see, I have my workout up there. It's kind of small, it's a little bit long, but yeah, I'm just going to jump right into this. If I can remember what I'm doing, that would be very, very helpful. Because, I can't see anything making that small. So, here we go. All right, incline bicep curls. All right, so we'll start with 20s, which may be admittedly too much, but that's why I have quite a few dumbbells over here. 1, 2, 3. So far feels better than I thought. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So far, first round, not terrible. But I'm gonna set a timer for this. We'll take a minute break in between. We'll see what happens. The dumbbell 21s. So if you don't, first of all, obviously I'm back to saying the word "so" quite often. So if you want to make it a fun little drinking game, every time I say "so," take a drink. If you're of age, of course, If you're not, take a taste of my drink, which is very morning tonight. But if you don't know what dumbbell 21s are, or curl 21s, I'm going to go 7 to the halfway point, then pause, then from the halfway point, 7 to the top, and then 7 complete. So, yeah, we'll see how well that works out. In about 5 seconds here. Other than that, it's just been a whirlwind of the past few weeks. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. Oh boy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whew. Well, that bike ride home tonight is going to be a little rough. Maybe we'll see. I'm going to go a little bit longer on this break. But, those felt really good to do. Those were the 15s, so not the heaviest weight in the world. Now, on this next set, doing slow eccentric curls. So for me, going up to the 25s, and you're probably going to see it's really like pretty crappy form to get up there, but I'm focusing on the way down. So I'm going to get them up. I'm going to really make sure that they don't just drop as quick as possible. So when I was thinking about, as I said last time, I've been wanting bigger chest and bigger biceps. And I was remembering back in college when we would do 3-a-days. Well, let's try these seated. Yeah. Anyway, and a sophomore had said to me when we were doing these 3-a-days over one break, like, do not take a shower. Because we were in the pool twice a day, we're in the gym in the middle, in between that. It's like you're going to be swimming, chlorine's going to clean you off enough, and you're not going to want to shower. By the time you're done, you're not even going to want to be wet by the second day. And I was like, yeah, I'll be fine, whatever. I should have listened, because the next day, that night, I was like, I gotta take a shower. I went to wash my hair, and I put shampoo on my hand, I rubbed my hands together, and I could not get my hands past here. So I had to bring my head down to my hands. And so that did not work out well, but I'm going for 6 of these. So we'll see what happens. Two more. And that's why I'm only doing 6. 2. Whew. First, I was really smart earlier, and I was like, I won't need the AC on. It's cool enough here. And I'm like, sure, put the fucking AC on. But I almost felt like it was too much of an incline. So as far as being busy goes, well, I haven't spent time with you beautiful people in over a week. Last Wednesday, here at the studio, we had a West Hollywood Chamber of Commerce event here. So we had a whole bunch of people from different businesses come in. We had food vendors set up all on the wall there, a bartender. One of the friends of the studio, Monique, she was over on the Cadillac doing an amazing Cadillac exhibition, showing people what goes on over there. But when she was done with that, I got to play around with the Reformer, show kind of people what we do over there. And all that was really fun, especially when we had this guy named Moses come in. Moses has been around the Pilates industry for 4 decades now, maybe a little bit, maybe 4.5. Worked directly with Ramana. Set number 2. I have increased my rep time, or my rest time, not my rep time, to 1.5 minutes, because I want to, because I'm old. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. One more. Nope. 9. There we go. Or 10. Whew. So, a few months ago, I jammed the shit out of this thumb. Kind of went off on the back of my bike seat, and that pain just shot right up my forearm. So I've been kind of it's like milking, but trying to really take care of. Of course, I forgot this muscle, but I can feel it when I do bicep curls. Basically, trying to make sure I ward off any tennis elbow, fun stuff like that. But anyway, so as I was doing a reformer, Moses was here and just really taught me quite a few new tricks that I'm looking forward to giving to some of my clients. Well, maybe. You know, they were super advanced exercises, which as far as teaching clients those exercises, there's a certain level of strength that you have to get to before you can start doing the advanced work. So I don't have too many clients that I'll be giving that information to, or those exercises to anytime soon. But when I work out with other Pilates friends, I can sum them together. So, but yeah, that was Wednesday, the night before my oldest son was in town. So we got surprised, as the youngest kids, by taking them to meet him at a hotel and go swimming, which was really funny because we've traveled with kids a few times, but the Beverly Hills Hotel is one of the more fancy hotels that they've ever been in. And after walking in, going to the bathroom, my son said to me, "Dad, pretty sure this is where spies stay." I said, "You think spies stay at this hotel?" He's like, "Yeah, anytime I watch a show with spies, they always stay in really fancy hotels." And I was like, "Well, yeah, man, if you think spies stay here, they probably do. Like, you let me know if you see me." He's like, "Oh, I definitely will." Yeah, so I didn't hear from him, so I don't know if he saw any spies. But, alright. Second set of 21s, I'm already regretting it, but there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sweat in the eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. That fucking stings. So we didn't see any spies, unfortunately. I'm sure they were there, but we didn't catch any of them. Next time, I'm sure we'll find them. But anyway, so then after these biceps, I'm going to be doing more of a leg exercise, three leg exercises. Just looking for a little bit more explosive power as far as, well, it's just explosive power, really. Sometimes you're going to change it up from doing squats and kind of seeing what you can do. So two of these exercises were from when I used to dive, right? Just fun bodyweight exercises. Single leg deadlifts with no weight. Again, this is more focusing on kind of strengthening the feet, right? So you get in there. I'm going to move this when I'm done with all this fun stuff. So it'll be nice and just focus on balance in that aspect. And you know, you're still getting a little bit of work in the glutes. And then single leg jumps, I think I typed in there like explosive single leg jumps. And it's really just trying to draw that power up off of one leg, using the hamstring and glute on the opposite leg, and really kind of using some of that momentum from the other knee itself. And then static high jumps with knees at the top. Kind of a fun way to, not just work on explosive jumps, but work on your core, right? So after you jump, you want to lift the knees up at the apex. So it's kind of like a jump, lift the knees up, bring them back down. Now, it's been quite a while since I have done an exercise like that. So we'll see what happens. It could be very entertaining for everyone involved, mainly anyone watching. So, you know, we'll see. All right, here we go. Two more. Whew. All right. Well, I think it's safe to say that I just stepped on something sharp, and we are not going to use 20s for these incline curls, unfortunately. But that's okay. We will get back to them very soon. Hello. I don't know do that. Excellent. But then once I do this last set here, I'll get this bad boy out of the way. And then, if I get cleaned up in time, I'll get a burrito on the way home. I can honestly say, if you've never been to Los Angeles, come out, come visit, and I would say make a day or two of only eating at food trucks and roadside taco stands. That is some of the best food in the city. So, all right, here we go. I'll tell you what I thought in just a second, but yeah, it amazes me how much an injury from, at this point, 31 years ago can still affect how your body moves and how your body works. Let's get this over here for a second. I know some of you are hearing me sounding like, well, yeah, no shit. I can still be mixed by it, all right? I still find it absolutely fascinating. Clean up the gym as you go. You don't clean up after yourself in the gym, you're a dirty hoe. Yeah, I mean it too. If you don't clean up after yourself in the gym, you're a whore. I said it. Okay. I hate people that don't clean up after themselves. Don't re-rack their own weights. Don't wipe down their equipment. Rude. Just rude. Well, I might be shampooing my hair like this tonight. We'll see. These 21s are not looking forward to them, I'll admit. It's okay. Still gonna do them. Part of it too, I was saying this to my client earlier, right before I got on here. Every time I'm like, looking forward to doing these workouts, can't wait to do it, and then I get to the actual gym to train a client, like, I don't want to do that later. That's gonna be really hard, but still have to do it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I meant to stay here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll go back to that old injury comment in a second. 1, 2. 3 more. I got this. 5, 6, 7. Blech. Blech. Can't wait to put these away. Oh man. That's a great but terrible idea. Whew. It's gonna make that bike ride home a lot more interesting. Hold on for dear life. Got T-Rex arms. Oh well. Did I even start this timer? I didn't. That's alright. We'll just guesstimate some rest periods here. Ooh. Who's that? Sweet. Well, it's on Instagram, but Power Girl Plus, thanks for following me on Instagram. You guys can find me on Instagram too. TikTok, all those fun places. Yeah, there's a. Oh, nice. Got a lot. Things have been going really well. You know, stick around. If there's a commercial that pops up, make sure you stick around. I know they can be a little frustrating sometimes, but you know, they help pay the bills. So that's what, you know, that's what you gotta do. Unless you want to buy turbo, then you don't have to, you know, watch commercials. All right. Let's get this rough decision out of the way. 1, 2, 3, fuck up here. Come on. And 6. Okay. Put those away there. But what I was talking about earlier about injuries, old injuries. I bring this up every time, but I 31 years ago broke and dislocated this elbow. So a nice little permanent screw in there. So one of the first things I noticed, I don't know, 25 some odd years later, as I was doing curls, my shoulder was trying to help out. Right? So it was coming up on the side here. That kind of gotten a little bit out of the way, but at least let me rephrase that. I'm much more conscious of it. But my forearm has also been trying to compensate for the bicep. So I don't know if you can see, again, I'm going to go back and look at this later. But as I was coming up, my hand wanted to rotate in to help out, as opposed to staying out here. Because my forearm was like, no, I'm going to do it. So, one of those fun things to, if you're old like me and you have old injuries from skateboarding or bike riding or gymnastics, that was the plan, by the way. Pretty proud of the fact that I landed that touch the ground. Just, kind of be aware of what compensations your body might be making. Because if you're not, that can later lead to injury down the road. Not always, it's not a guarantee, but if you have one body part compensating for another, all that fun shit. So, alright. Roll this way out of here. We're good. Now, single leg deadlifts. Again, no weight. Kind of see, I said 10 explosive leg jumps. We'll see how that works. And these are just going to be like 30 or 45 seconds to a minute rest on each side between sets, because there's not going to be quite as much weight. And we'll see as far as jumps go, because this is a lot harder than graphs and all this. But that's right. The big part here is, again, just me kind of focusing on balance. Trying to make sure this hip isn't flying off to the side. And you can see my ankle kind of going crazy there. It's the most recent injury for. Now focus on making sure that ankle is doing the compensation as opposed to touching the ground, but as opposed to my knee. Right? I don't want my knee to compensate for that ankle. So I'd much rather my ankle be wobbling and going a little crazy than my knee. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And even doing that, I'm just focused on gripping the floor of the foot with no weight. Really hitting the outside of my leg on the standing leg. Well, let's see what happens on the right leg. Not nearly as wobbly yet. 6, we'll see what happens though. 8, 9, 10. All right. Now I said 10 single leg explosive jumps. We'll see about that. Might be closer to 5, but so these are almost going to be almost like a little bit like stepping into a lunge, right? So it's going to be a little bit more here and then jump. And I don't think I'll hit the ceiling, and then also landing completely, right? Which again, that's going to be something that I'll be able to pick up later when I play with this back. listening to how the microphone picked up my feet here. You'll hear it. It picked up the belly beats on the barrel a few weeks ago, as far as that impact and shaking the microphone. So, you know, we'll see. Might work, might not. Let's see if I jump out of the frame from the bottom or the top. Yeah, I don't know. I might. Probably not. All right, here we go. So I'm actually going to start with my right. Not because I did deadlifts on the last time, but it's going to be the more awkward one for me. So I can do this still. Oof. No, that was terrible. Nope. I think we might skip these. That's what people say when they don't do something well, right? You'll see what I mean when I do the left. It's also been a while, and it's probably really loud in the microphone. Alright, that felt more natural. So that was 5. Maybe 5 on the other leg. Still 10. The landing felt better. The start feels a little bit better. Now you can see which one was my plant leg. And diving. One more. Now, since I've been doing this for a while, obviously, yay, they're very low. But eventually, I would make that, or I will make that, a box jump. Whew. On the next set, I'm going to start with the left leg and see if that doesn't help me do better on the right. Sometimes you want to start with the weaker leg or weaker side. Sometimes you want to start with the stronger side because that kind of helps you remember the pattern that you want to do on the bad side. So who knows, you know? It's fun thing I play around with all this stuff. There we go. That was a crack I needed. When I talk about explosive jumps, or static explosive jumps, I think that's the type of thing, static here. No stepping, right, with 2 feet. All right, here we go. Turn off. But again, landing as gently as possible. I don't know why I'm looking up like I'm anywhere close to the ceiling. A, I'm not jumping that high. B, I'm not that tall. Might as well just buy a jump rope at this point. Whew. And yes, it's harder than I remember. But in my defense, I am older than I ever have been, so take that for what it's worth. there's a fun little added cap on in there too. So. One of the reasons why I started giving this to people that train with me that, I don't know, say play basketball, mainly older people. Sometimes we actually have to build up to this a little bit more first. It's only because Achilles injuries in basketball are on the rise, especially among middle-aged men. So, you can't just go out and start playing like you did 20 years ago. You've been playing for a while. Alright. So we're going to do this with the arms out. See if that changes a little bit. This reminds me back when I was in gymnastics. When we had to do scales on the floor routine, be like that. But, yeah, let's just go back to this. 3, 4, 6, 8, Now another reason why I did another, so yesterday I did biceps. Today I did biceps again. The reason being, I did really like biceps yesterday, but I also got a COVID shot today. So I want to make sure I can get more of those in case my arm's a little too sore the next 2 days following the shot. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But I've also found with the flu shot, COVID shot, like just keep moving your arm. It's not nearly as sore. You know, but one of these days soon, we'll get a haircut. So I was like Logan. No, can't have that. Seconds. It's funny how awkward those jumps off the right foot felt. I guess, you know, again, diving, there was here. Skateboarding, it's here. So I'm used to like relying on the left for the power and not the momentum. But it's okay. So now this time again, like I said, we're going to start with the left and then try to see if the right side is not better because of that. So here we go. Alright, let's see what the right leg does this time. I'm guessing very much the same as last time. Oh yeah. Terrible. Such a different feeling. So, not great on the right. That's fine. What I'm smiling about is I do that. It's always fun to like find a new challenge for yourself and find different things that you want to work on. But the other reason I'm kind of giggling is one of the things we often talk about is with Pilates is finding symmetry in the body, right? Now, we know at this point you cannot be perfectly asymmetrical. It doesn't exist. But we often talk about how we want one side to work almost as well as the other, right? We want to try to even it out as best we can. So, and I think personally, on myself, I can't speak for other people out there, in the world of Pilates, I've gotten pretty good at that. There's certain things I do better on one leg than the other. But obviously, as you can see, in some ways, that doesn't necessarily help you, at least in this situation, with explosive power, right? Now it can, if that's something that you try to turn that focus towards, but you're gonna get a little bit better results, I think, doing things like this, that will then help you also in your Pilates practice. But, all right, let's do these jumps here. Sorry if that's really fucking annoying, that microphone. Thanks. One of each. And we're out. While I have energy, I'm putting these back. So one of the things that I will do, in my own, aside from choke, I'm a very dry throat. Jesus Christ. Let's try it again. I will start using, in my own practice, the one chair over here in the corner, and the electric chair, which you cannot necessarily see. I'm not going to turn the camera on, but there's a piece of apparatus in the corner called the electric chair. So on, or the high chair. So on Friday, I might play around with that a little bit, and just how the exercise here and there can help with calf strength, glute strength, hamstring strength, and stability, right, throughout the entire foot. All right, let's start with the right leg this time for these single leg deadlifts. Here we go. 2, 3. Mm-hmm. 6, 7. Every time I get to about here, this knee wants to start dipping in. 8. See, there it is again. 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you. Let's try number 7 again. 8. 9. And happy. Hi, thanks so much for following. I can't read because I don't have glasses on, but I'll look up in a second. Frida, thanks for checking this out, man. We're 1 in, sorry, person. There we go. Alright. Back to these single leg jumps. I'm not looking forward to these anymore. But I am. We'll see what happens. So the right leg again. Gonna go back to start on the right leg. Once that thing goes off. But yeah, we'll see how this works out. All right. The hesitation always because I know how silly it looks, but it's all right. All right, here we go. All right. Hearing squeaking, that's just me slipping on sweat, it's no big deal. Alright, terrible. Now, the good leg. And it's also, this isn't an excuse, it's very different to do this without a spring on the diving board. 3, 2 more. Oh, out of everything I've done tonight, that's one I'm really glad is over with. Alright. Yeah. Thank you. It's taken me a while to get to this setup. And I mean, it'll be a year in November that I started doing this. So, fortunately, my friend who owns this gym is amazing at design. And he lets me come play and hang out here. But yeah, it's been a lot of trial and error, so that's been kind of fun. And I know in some ways, like the side view on the bottom might seem a little silly, but You know, as I was kind of like, you know, playing video games and streaming on, it's been a while since I streamed games on here. But realizing that like, the big screen is the video game in the corner is generally the streamer. So I was like, well, I don't have a video game going on right now, so how can I make this kind of like a little more interesting? So it's a 2-camera setup, which if this were my own place might be a little bit easier because there wouldn't be quite as much like setup and takedown every night, but yeah, I'm happy to get to be here. All right, last set of high jumps with knees at the top. And then I'm gonna go eat a burrito. Yeah, that was better. Trying to land as quietly as possible. Feel that vertical getting a little bit lower as the night goes on. 5 more. 6. 7. 8. Oh, I'm glad that's over. Oh, all right. Whew. As soon as I can catch my breath. So again, gonna be out of clear. Thank you for the follow. I have to reset my stream clock. I was trying some different days, but I'm going back from Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah, hopefully catch you guys on Friday. Probably doing more Pilates that night as opposed to generally Wednesday I do Pilates, but who knows. Now I'm just too winded to talk. So with that, we're gonna end it there. So thanks. Thanks for hanging out. Again, thanks for the follow. And find me on YouTube. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. Obviously, we're on Twitch. So, and with that, have a good night. If you celebrate, have a fun and safe Yom Kippur. And I'll be rooting for you to eat tomorrow at sundown. Have a good night. See you on Friday.